Hey, good morning, you guys. Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a good weekend. The weather on Sunday certainly perked up and was much nicer on Sunday than it was Saturday, but I hope you got out on Sunday and had a chance to be outside. So listen, today's manner is one that I find probably one of the most important ones that we have as far as how you treat people. And it's all about what you show with your body when you're talking to somebody. So there are some things you can do in the classroom to show a lot of respect for somebody. And there are things you can do when you're talking to your friends, your teacher, your parents, anybody outside that show disrespect. And that's what this manner is all about, is how you show respect with your body language and things not to do so you show disrespect or that you're not being respectful to them. So let's go over some of those. So some of the things you can do to show respect for somebody in the classroom is an acronym I like to call SLANT, which means you sit up, you lean in, you ask questions, that you nod when people are talking, or you nod this way when people are talking. And then the last one, the T for that one, is that you track the speaker. So it's sit up for S, lean in for the L, ask questions for the A, nod for the N, and then track the speaker for the T. So those are some things you can do to show respect to somebody. And we've talked about eye contact and how important that is. So when you're tracking somebody, you're giving eye contact. You're watching them and you're trying to connect with them through your eyes. Some things you can do to not be respectful. And then, you guys, let me back up for a second. Sorry. With SLANT, with that idea, you're also doing the same thing when you're just talking to somebody one-on-one. If I'm talking to you in the hallway and I'm looking down the hallway like this as you're talking to me and watching everything else go on, does that look like I'm listening? If you were trying to tell me something that you did over the weekend or something you did fun with your family, or even you're talking to your teacher and your teacher is looking over here and doing other things, or they're writing a note and they're not looking at you, would you feel like they're even listening? Probably not, right? So it's important that we look at somebody when we're talking. So things you can do that don't show respect are things like I just said. You look away. Sometimes kids will and adults do this too. Sometimes our body language, like instead of sitting up straight or leaning in, doing those things, we'll just kind of slouch our shoulders and look at my head even drops down. And we might look down like this, or we might kind of look up at them like that and look a different direction. Things like that. Even the way we look at somebody, if we squint our eyes and look at them, it might look like we're being really rude and mean or we're mad, those kind of things. And then also the noises that come out of your mouth. Kids are really good at this. Adults don't do this, but kids do. Because by the time we've gotten older, we've learned that, boy, that is really disrespectful and nobody appreciates that. So things like going, or, you know what I'm talking about? Have you heard those things? Maybe from other kids in your classroom, or maybe you're sitting there right now going, ooh, I've done that. Listen, we all have, especially when we were little, but it's really important you learn that those things are not okay to do to people. Some other things that people might do is they might smack their lips, and it's more with your tongue, but they do this thing where it sounds like this. Ready? Try a little. It's almost like they go, and they almost happen at the same time. I call that like that. I call it like deflating. It's like you're letting all the air out of your lungs, like deflating yourself, like it's just so bad. Those things are not respectful to do to people, whether that's a friend, an adult like your mom or dad, or an aunt or an uncle, a grandparent, maybe even your teacher or a coach or things like that. Those are things that are not going to help you get where you want to go. So you really need to work on those things and looking at somebody and nodding and even kind of agreeing with them as they go, or disagreeing is okay too. Like if somebody's saying something and your teacher is talking and they're asking a question of the group, it's okay for you to just kind of be like, no, and just nod no, that's not what you were thinking. Or I know a lot of teachers do this to show agreement. That's a great thing to do to show that you're with that person. You could also just be nodding to say, yep, I agree with that too. There are so many things you can do. So maybe you can spend a little bit more time talking about some things you do in your classroom to show respect and show that you're with that person. But the manner reads like this. It says, do not smack your lips, roll your eyes. I forgot to talk about that one. So teachers, you can do more with that one. Or show disrespect with your body language. What you do up here, just without saying a word sometimes, maybe some noises, carries the conversation and lets people know that you either value them or you don't. So think about what you're showing with your face, your body, how you sit, like this in class, That doesn't show that you're with somebody. So think of those things. Spend some time this morning, talk about those, and maybe you could even make a short little quick list on a board, or even just talking about them is going to be helpful, because we want to see the right thing in the classroom. That way you can also do it outside the classroom with parents, with other community members, with coaches, with other people. Maybe it's your dance teacher, maybe it's your piano teacher, whatever it may be, scouts leader. All those things are really important. Hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. We'll see you soon.